Okay, so I want to ask a personal question because I want to feel more powerful, and I just realized that I'm lacking this feeling of feeling powerful in the last days. And I was able to, once I understood that I was lacking that feeling, look back at my life and see how I was trying to gain the feeling of power from outside myself over and over.
Can you make an association between what you are describing as power and what we have just been talking about as momentum?
So, yes.
You feel that you're lacking power or lacking momentum. Can you feel that it's about thinking about things that are in contradiction to each other, so you don't allow the momentum to really get going? I want it but, or I think this but. We'll let you continue.
It's funny, my back hurts right now. I haven't had back pain before. Yeah, so I'm trying to release something. I've got the beast inside.
Aren't you all... Exactly. Aren't you all eager to get into this chair? It's been called the hot seat for years. Now we're calling it the infliction of pain seat. It's the amplification of what you've got going on seat.
So when I felt that I clearly knew that the desire to feel power, I started looking back at my life. And when I used to play sport when I was younger, I used to listen to rap music that was getting me, I guess, motivated at the time to feel powerful. And a lot of the lyrics in the songs were beating someone else at whatever they do. And then I started realizing that, so that was from a music standpoint, the sports that I watch and continue to watch was about beating another city, so I could feel powerful from it. And then even with sex, with pornography, watching that to feel like maybe a girl didn't say yes to you, and then, so when I was younger especially, that became a way to feel powerful without having had the experience of power.
Well, the most important subject that we are wanting to help you pinpoint from these things that you're talking about, it's not about the beating someone that brought the sense of power. It was the focus upon an objective. It was the determination. Think about what the word determination even means. It's a strong focus, isn't it? And we were talking earlier, let's talk about this purely in terms of vibration, or in terms of energy, and in terms of law of attraction. So when you focus upon something and then you contradict it with an opposite thought, the momentum in essence moves in both directions. You get momentum going this way and this way, which is what causes that feeling of tug of war, or that feeling of stagnation, or that feeling of powerlessness. So what you're really looking for is a way to refine your thinking, which just means be more deliberate about the thoughts you think. But no one can really do a good job of monitoring thought, because thoughts are all around, and law of attraction is helping you to add to the thought that you're thinking. And so thinking is one thing, and it's a very important thing, and certainly focus is about thinking, isn't it? But when we're talking about being deliberate about your focus, what we're talking about is having some mechanism to help you define in the moment where the rumble strip is. In the moment, how are you going to stay in the lane of the thought that you really mean to be in? There's one lane that's leading you to well-being and physical prowess and strength and longevity and abundance. And there's another lane that's doing something entirely different, and you want to make sure which lane you're in, so to speak, with your thoughts. And the emotions that you're feeling are letting you know that, but you've got to catch them at the early stages. Otherwise, you get off in that lane and you don't even realize you're in that lane, and there is a certain amount, isn't there, of satisfaction of the momentum no matter what lane you're in, because doesn't momentum feel better than stagnation? And so that's why when we began talking about the receiving mode, when we talk about how life has caused you to ask, and in your asking you've launched all of these rockets of desire, and this powerful non-physical vortex that is amassing power and energy. Your inner being is so powerful because of the input that you've accomplished. And so there's this powerful energy stream that you now want to be in the receptive mode of. But if you're not in the receptive mode of your vortex, if you're not in the receptive mode of who you really are and what you've really been asking about, if instead you're feeling sort of vulnerable, so you're in the receptive mode of something that doesn't feel so good, momentum still follows that vibration, because you get what you think about, and the thoughts will continue to get bigger anyway. So sometimes what happens is you have a misunderstanding. You think that because there is momentum, that then the universe is helping you out in some powerful way. Well, the universe is always helping you out in the sense that it is yielding to you more thoughts like the ones you're thinking, and more experiences that back up the thoughts that you've been thinking, and more thoughts that back those up, and more amassing of people around you that support the thought. Esther argued with us about that a little bit in the beginning. She said, but Abraham, it's true. And we said, everything's true that you give your attention to. You make it true. You focus upon it, and law of attraction backs up that chronic thought with things that match it. So everything can be true that you think about. You've just got to decide, how does it feel as it begins coming? And this is what we want all of you to walk away from this gathering with on this day. When you give your thoughts to something and you are aware of the emotion that you're feeling, and the emotion that you're feeling is powerless, or the emotion that you're feeling is anger, or the emotion that you're feeling is frustration, the emotion that you're feeling is something less than what you would describe as feeling good, take it as the important sign that it is that momentum is amassing in the direction of something unwanted. And if you don't bring your emotions in check, which means your emotions are responding to your thoughts. So if you don't refocus your thoughts into a way that they feel better to you, then momentum is going to be the way that it goes. Now, fortunately, all of you go to sleep at night. And when you sleep, that momentum stops. Not your proclivity for thinking, not your beliefs. Your habits of thoughts don't change, but the momentum does subside while you sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, you have the best opportunity of redirecting your thought and getting a little momentum going towards something that you are wanting. There is no reason ever for you to feel less than powerful, because you have a source energy and an inner being who knows you, who knows everything that you want, who knows what's in your vortex, who has orchestrated all kinds of circumstances and events and culminations and rendezvous, and is knowing where you stand in relationship to every one of them. And this is most important, knows what your path of least resistance is from where you are to where you would like to be. Your path of least resistance that is based upon the resistance that you've thrown on your path. When we say path of least resistance, we don't mean a path that a whole bunch of others have thrown resistance on your trail. We don't mean that karmically that you were born with big clumps of problems on your trail. Every bit of resistance that's on your path, you've put there, and in every case, it's just thoughts that you've been thinking. It's just thoughts that have gotten a foothold. It's just thoughts that have momentum. It's just thoughts that are not necessary. It's just thoughts that you've been thinking, and you keep thinking them because we love you so much. You're lazy. Because it is easier to think the thought that has the momentum than it is to find the new thought. And if you let the thought go for a while, then it would be completely inappropriate for us to call you lazy, because you're not lazy. You're trying to buck a current with action that you can't buck with action. Now it's time to take a nap. Now it's time to go to bed. But each morning when you wake up, reach for more good feeling thoughts until that is the momentum of your experience. And before you know it, you'll feel powerful. You'll feel sure of yourself, as you recall in the past. And take away from it, because we appreciated your examples. We want you to take away from your own examples. It was your ability to focus that was causing the momentum to move more in your favor, or better said, you to move more in the direction of your positive momentum. Following?
Yes.